In this lesson, we are going to make this 3-stream bracelet. Before I tell you about the required materials, I want to show you one very useful item to make a bracelet. This one is called Easy Bracelet. This is easy to measure the bracelet you already made. For example, when I want to measure this bracelet, all I need to do is close the toggle and slide down to this thing. And then you can clearly see this bracelet is about 7.5 inches long. And these, when you buy it, these come in a flat paper. This is actually not the paper, it's like a plastic. And there's a adhesive tape on it. So you can make this as this shape, and you can use it to measure your finished jewelry. They also have easy necklace, and those are available at the jewelry making supply stores. So if you are interested in, I recommend you to check them out. In this lesson, I'm going to make 7.5 inches long bracelet, but you can adjust the number of the beads, depends on the size what you want to make. The required materials are 72 Swarovski crystal 5301 bicon style bead in 4 millimeters, and 50 hematite round beads in 2 millimeters, and size 11 seed bead, about 200 of them. This time I'm using the jet color. And if you don't have any, you can't find any 2 millimeter round hematite bead, you can also use size 11 hematite color seed bead. But that case, you might need to adjust the number of other beads, since seed bead is slightly smaller than 2 millimeter bead. Then 2 jump rings, 2 crumb shells, 1 set of toggle clasp, 2 of 28 inches long monofilament strings, chain nose plier, bent nose plier. If you don't have any bent nose plier, you can use 2 chain nose pliers, then flash cutter. And this time I'm going to use GS Hypo Cement, and that's the usual tape. First, with your right string, pick 1 black seed bead, 1 4 millimeter bead, 1 more seed bead, then 1 round hematite bead, 1 black seed bead, 1 4 millimeter bead, and 1 seed bead. Now you have beads lining up like this. Then pick 1 round hematite bead with your right string, then pass the left string through it. Then make sure that your pattern is in the middle of the strings. The hematite beads hole is very narrow, so it might be difficult to move around. But make sure it's about the middle of the strings. And from here, this pattern is very simple. What you need to do is with right string, pick one seed bead, 1 4mm, 1 seed bead. Then do the same thing with your left string. 1 seed bead, 1 4mm bead, 1 seed bead, then using your right string, pick 1 round hematite round bead and pass the left string through it. This will be the pattern that you need to repeat. I will show you one more time. One seed bead, 1 4mm bead, 1 seed bead with your right string. The same thing with your left string. 1 seed bead, 1 4mm bead, 1 seed bead. Then pick 1 round hematite bead with your right string. Then pass the left string through it. So you will repeat the same pattern until it became too close to your desired length. This time I'm going to make a 7.5 inches long bracelet, and I already made with these seed beads, so I know about how many times that I need to repeat. My case, I need to repeat total of 24 patterns, so I need to make 21 more patterns, same as that we have done. I just repeated same pattern total of 23 times, and I will show you the last pattern. Last pattern will be almost the same as what we have done, but this time you just pick 1 black seed bead and 1 4mm bead with your right string. Then pick 1 seed bead, 1 4mm bead, 1 seed bead. Then using the same left string, pick 1 round hematite bead. So now it looks like this. This side you only have seed beads and 4mm. This side seed bead, 4mm, seed bead and round bead. And now pick 1 seed bead with your right string, then pass the left string through it. So now your string is coming out from this seed bead. Now, from now on, I'm going to use the other monofilament string to weave more pattern. So for now, we are going to rest this monofilament string here. But if you just leave it here, it will get loose and then you will lose some of the beads that you already weaved. So what I'm going to do is using the tape, just the tape, 2 monofilament strings together like this. It will come out easily when you pull this way later. So now what you need to do is bring out the other monofilament string that I show you as required materials. And what you need to do is hold this pattern like this, then pass this string through this 4mm Swarovski crystal, like right here. Then using the other side of the monofilament string, pick 1 seed bead, one round hematite bead, 1 seed bead, then pick 1 4mm bead and 1 seed bead. So it should look like this right here. And using the left string, pick 1 seed bead, then pick 1 round bead with your right string, then pass the left string through it. Like this. Then make sure your right and left string are almost same length at this time. It's not exactly, it doesn't need to be exactly same length both sides, but it would be safe to make it as close as possible. Otherwise, you will run out of the string in the later. So, after this, what we need to do is, while we are passing through these Swarovski crystal bead in the middle, we will weave more patterns on the right side. So using the left string, since I'm right-handed, it's easy to use the right hand to do this. Using the left side string, pick 1 seed bead, then pass through the next Swarovski crystal bead like this. Then pick 1 more seed bead. And now you can switch your hand. You can hold the left string with your left hand. Then using the right string, pick 1 black seed bead, 1 4mm bead, 1 seed bead, then pick 1 hematite round bead with your right string and pass the left string through it. I will show you one more time. Using the left side string, pick one seed bead, then pass through the 4mm bead in the middle, then pick one more seed bead and switch hand. Using the right string, pick one seed bead, one 4mm bead, one seed bead, pick one round hematite bead with your right string, then pass the left string through it. So this is very simple, easy pattern, but you need to have a lot of patience to keep doing the same thing for many times. And the one thing I tend to do when I make this bracelet, after I pass through this middle 4mm bead, I sometimes forget to add one more seed bead right here. So you need to be very careful each step to go to the other side of the pattern. So please be patient and repeat the same pattern until you reach to the end of the other side of the pattern. I repeated same pattern up to here. You must be tired, but look at this, it's beautiful. Beautiful bracelet. I like it. It's very popular item when I do the craft show. People always check this bracelet. So it's worth of your hard work. But anyway, what we need to do now is to do the same thing what we did to the other side. So that means we're gonna pick one seed bead with your left string, then pass the middle of the middle crystal bead, then pick one seed bead, then pick round hematite bead, then with your right string pick one seed bead, pick the last crystal bead, then pick one more seed bead with your right string and pass the left string through it. So from now, what we are going to do is make this part of the bracelet to attach to the toggle clasp. So what we need to do is just flip over this pattern like this. Then we will bring this side of the string to the other side, going around all these beads right here to make this string to come out from this hematite, round hematite bead. So what we need to do is pass through the 4mm bead here. Then after that, we're going to pass through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bead right here. So seed bead, round hematite, seed bead, seed bead, round hematite, seed bead. So it's normally we don't go through the same side of the we always use the 8-figure motion, but this time we will go straight. So after the hematite bead, you will pass through this seed bead, and now you're gonna go to the seed bead right next to it. Then pass through the hematite bead. Then you're going to go up to this seed bead, then 4mm bead, then seed bead. After that, pass through the hematite bead right next to it, like this. Then the other side, you will do the same thing, that this string needed to come out from the hematite bead also. So now those two strings are coming out from this hematite bead. Then pick 2 seed bead with your right string. Also 2 seed bead with your left string. Then put those strings together. To make it easy, let me cut this string the same length. Then pick 1 seed bead with these 2 strings together. Then bring this crumb shell out and pass the both strings through the hole from the bottom of the V shape. Then using one side of the string, pick 1 seed bead, and you're going to tie a square knot right here. Since we are using the monofilament string, I'm not going to use a crimp bead. Sometimes crimping a crimp bead with monofilament string easily cut the monofilament string while you are crimping. I don't want to take any risk to cut off the string right here. That means, you know, your bracelet won't be any secure anymore. So I recommend you to use the seed bead right here to finish these strings. Then normally I go back to weave several beads, but since this pattern is very complicated and the hematite beads hole is very small, I'm not going to go back. Instead of that, I'm going to use GS Hypo cement and put some cement in here to secure the square knot. Then you can leave it here like this while you are doing the other side to do the same thing. I did the same thing with the other side of the bracelet. So what we need to do is using the either chain nose plier or bent nose plier, slowly close this clamshell. Then cut the strings coming out from the shells. Do the same thing with the other side. Close the shell with the chain nose plier. Then cut the string. Then bring out the bent nose plier and chain nose plier. Open up the jump ring. Then put the one side of the top clasp. Then do the same thing for the other side of the toggle clasp. Can't find the, okay, right here. Then put another side of the toggle clasp. And now you just made 3-stream bracelet. I want to show you another sample right here. I made this 3-stream bracelet with 4mm Swarovski pearls. Just using the different shape of the bead and different color can make very different looking bracelet. And in this one, I used the all seed bead in between. So this is another very popular item that I sell at the craft show. I just wanted to show you. Enjoy your 3-stream bracelet.